YouTube, you know, I'm about to make this my first video because, like, I'm about to delete all my videos. So this is why I'm gonna start off fast. My name is Akayla. I'm 16 years old. My birthday is February 6th. I was trying to say two things at once, like, what the flip. But this is gonna be a story time video about how I lost my virginity. Whatever. Just to start this video off, I lost my virginity at 13 years old. I know, like, but yeah, I lost my virginity at 13 years old. And I'm gonna be telling a story about how the whole thing started. I'm not gonna get into details because, you know, we can't go really hard. This has to be PG-13, sis. Like, but it all started because I was going to this school. I was going to a school called Garfield Middle School. So I'm not gonna say his name. Like, you know, I'm gonna just keep him as like this dude. You feel me? So me and him, we was like I didn't even know him at first. Like, you know, I wasn't even messing with him for real. But like when the periods where we would like go in the hallway to go to our other classes, you know, he'd like play with me and play around and stuff. And, you know, me being a child, you know, I'm like, oh, I think he's cute, I like him. So I started asking people about him because I remember I asked my one friend, I'm not gonna say her name either, but I asked my one friend, I told her, like, you know, I asked her about him. I'm like, you know about him, like, you know who he is? They like, yeah, you know, he got a girlfriend though. And then I'm like, he do? So she pointed at the table, and it's like table, like, we got these like cafeteria tables, you know, like the stuff that you see in like the movies. Like, okay, this is the table where the football players go. This is the table where you know. But they were at the table sitting next to each other. I'm like, oh, excuse me, excuse the hell out of me. But that's when I just left it alone. I'm just like, okay, he has a girlfriend, whatever. I'm like, I still think he's cute, though. I'm not gonna say he's ugly. The fuck, I thought he was cute. So after all of that went down, they supposedly broke up because she told me afterwards they broke up. Like, everybody was telling me, because I told a couple of people that I liked him, and then I guess he knew because one of the friends that I told that I liked him told him. So he found out, whatever. So I remember I was walking to the bathroom because usually I had an upstairs class, and then, you know, it was like a downstairs because it was three levels. So I had a class on the second floor. That's like mostly where the 7th graders at. The 6th graders was like upstairs. Yeah, the 6th graders was upstairs. The 7th graders was like the second floor, and the 8th graders was on the 3rd floor. But I remember walking down the hall because it was like this bathroom that everybody used to go to. So I always went to that bathroom because I didn't like the bathroom on the 2nd floor. That bathroom was so trifling. So I went downstairs and I seen my friend. So I was saying hey to her, but then she was like, oh, I got something to tell you. I'm like, what's up? She's like, oh, well, you know, he likes you. You know, he wants to ask you a question. I'm like, ooh. Then she told me, like, he wants to ask me a question. I'm like, okay. So he walks next to me, you know, he's trying to be smooth with it and put his arm around my shoulder, and he's like, okay, I got a question. He's like, I heard you like me. I'm like, yeah, okay. And then he's like, yeah, do you want to be my girlfriend? Me being dumb, I'm like, yeah, okay. Like, yeah, I want to be your girlfriend. Let's be boyfriend and girlfriend. Let's go. So then that's when I was like, yeah. And then he kissed me on my cheek. Whatever. So they're like, oh yeah, you know, people try to hype their friends up. They be like, yeah, blah blah blah, yeah, blah blah blah. And that's what she was doing at the moment. And then, you know, I'm sitting up there cheesing hard as fuck because I liked them at the time. So I'm like, yeah, you know, my crush, he fucking with me for real. This my bae, this my boo thing. But that's what it's that, like, after all that happened, me and him, we was going out for like, what I say, like 2-3 weeks. Like, everybody knew about it. Because once you go out with somebody at that school, like, everybody knows. Everybody talk. Everybody, like, they know every fucking thing. Supposedly. But after all of that happened, like, school was out. Because me and him, we started talking, like, at the end of the school year. So then that's when me and him, we was talking. We broke up before, but then we got back together. So we got back together at the end of the summer. Because I remember it was summertime and I was going into my 8th grade year. But I was still 13. I wasn't turning 14 until February. So me and him, I remember the one time, you know, it was a kick day. You know, we used to be kicking each other because my phone wasn't on. I had an iPod. You know, I had an iPod. So he kicked me and he was like, oh, you know, like, where you at? I want to see you. It was early in the morning. I was like, it was a weekend. But he still had, like, football practice and everything. So after all of that happened, I said, yeah, you know, you can come. Because my mom, she was at work. So I'm like, all right, yeah, you can come, you know. Ain't nobody here, but you can come in the house. Because I was scared. Like, I ain't going to get caught with somebody in my fucking house. Leave the fuck out here. So that's when, after like a couple of minutes, he came. Because he said he was coming for football practice. So he came. And, you know, keep in mind, the school is not that far from my house. You just like, it's just like a long-ass main street, though. So, excuse me. So then that's when he was like, he came. And he like, I'm outside. So I come outside because I had like this big back porch. I came outside, I had this big back porch, right? And he's like outside. He put his duffel bag in the front yard. So we outside, we talking. You know, I got my pajamas on, but I had my robe on because it was cold. So, you know, we talking. So we sitting down on the little stair things, and he trying to talk to me. He like, oh, you know, like, I want to do some things with you. He's like, I want to, let's have sex. At first I'm telling him no. I'm like, no. So then that's when he's like, oh yeah, come on, let's go. You know, we can do it. He was like, but I mean, like, it's not gonna hurt. He was like, is you scared that it's gonna hurt? I'm like, yes. So, you know, he's like, come on. Like, you know, like, it's not even gonna hurt that bad. So I'm like, all right, I eventually say yes, eventually. And then that's when, like, after all of that, bro, I laid down. Y'all cannot judge me after this video. Y'all cannot judge me after this. Do not fucking judge me after this video. But he laid me down on the porch, and you know, I'm just laying there because I'm scared as fuck. The only thing I remember looking at a bag of charcoal. And then that's what, you know, he was, and I'm like, you know, me being a virgin, I ain't never had this shit before, so I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting excited. So, yeah. Then that's when, he put it in. And that shit, like, when I tell you, my soul went through, like, my body, like, it went out. Because I'm a virgin. So I'm like, you know, I'm all discombobulated. I'm scared as fuck. Like, what the fuck is going on? And that shit hurted so bad, bro. Like, I'm sitting up there, like, about to cry and shit. And then that's when he goes, and he just, like, doing his thing. But then, after all of that happened, he was staring at me. We just staring at each other. Like, you know, the little awkward moment after you do something, you just like, yeah. So then that's when we heard a car pull up, and I'm like, oh shit, like, you know, like, what the fuck is that? So he go to look, he like, oh, somebody here, but they can't see us because it's like, it's the side of the house, like, you can't see the people that's on the back porch, so you can't see if somebody's in the backyard or not. So he pulled up, and then that's when he looked, he's like, oh, somebody here. I'm like, what you mean somebody here? But I forgot, like, my stepdad, he gets off late. I mean, he gets off early. So I'm sitting up there scared as ever. I got my robe on and everything. But I didn't want to go to the back door because he's still, I feel like I could have went through the back door, but he was still there. And then like I'm sitting up there thinking, I'm like, I thought I was gonna get caught because I wasn't thinking. But then that's when he left. Like he like nobody seen him, but they knew that he like somebody was there because he left his duffel bag in the front. So my stepdad, he goes like, oh, like who the fuck is this? Like who the fuck you got in my house? Da da da. And I'm like, nobody. They was like, so why the fuck? I was like, cause I just had a friend over here who was just talking on the porch, and you know I was scared. I was just like lying and shit, just like making shit up. Like when you young, you gotta make shit up so you won't get cussed out. So I'm just like making stuff up, trying to make up lies and shit. And then that's when he like, go to fucking your room. And I'm like, okay. Cause I'm scared. Cause you know, I told my mom gonna beat my ass. That's what the fuck she did when she got there. Cause she was like, they like, even my dad know that I lost my virginity. Matter of fact, I'm gonna make a separate video about how my mom found out that I lost my virginity. So y'all keep like y'all subscribe to my channel and turn on the post notifications. Yeah. But anyways, that's when I was on punishment. Like she took my iPod and everything because I ain't had no phone. Like my phone, I ain't had one. You know, I used to be lying about that shit. Be like, oh yeah, I have a phone. Call my phone. So I ain't had one. But that's when she took everything. She took my TV. Like she didn't let me watch TV and none of that. Like she used to take my cable box, everything. So I just sat in my room, you know, read books. It was that type of depression. Yeah. But that's when, like, school started. The week that school started, I remember coming back to school. That's when everybody was just like looking at me all weird. Everybody was talking about me. Then one of my friends that came up to me was like, why is everybody talking about you? Everybody talking about you. I'm like, what you mean? It was like, oh, because people said that you did this with the dude. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm sitting up there like all confused. I'm like, wow. And this happened on this, like, everybody found out on my first day of school. Like, this is my first day of school. That's when everybody started doing everything. So then that's when everybody was like, oh, you know, we know that you did this with him. And I'm just like, okay, you can't lie now. Like, everybody knows what. So all of his friends, they sitting up there talking about me. They're like, oh, you're a hoe. And you know, I was being a hoe, I don't give a fuck. But that's when I found out. Just like after he came from my house, he was trying to go to his ex house to do things with her. And I'm like, bitch, wow, like, you really, what? So I'm sitting up there dumb as fuck. He was telling people that I wasn't a virgin because my cherry didn't pop. Well, dumb fuck, like, obviously your shit wasn't big, hoe. But that's when I'm just like, you know, I was a virgin. He took my virginity. Like, everybody knows. Like, everybody knew who he was. But, so that's how everybody found out. That's how I lost my virginity. So I lost my virginity on my back porch, guys. Yes, and I was 13 years old. But that is the end of this video. So like, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications to my channel. Thank you for watching. Deuces.